about the story of Shoebox and what is behind this play?
Yeah, so the Shoebox is a story about 4 high school best friends growing up in New Jersey, and we get to see them at 2 points in time. So in Act 1, they come together to write letters to themselves that then they will open 10 years later. And so in Act 2, takes place 10 years later, we see them come back together, reunite for the night, open their letters, and kind of reconcile everything that's changed or hasn't over the past 10 years.
In your script at the beginning, there's a very specific setup of the bathroom is not connected to the main space.
Yeah.
And I was really interested in that. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
There are quite a few different space conventions throughout the show because I was super interested in like the way that girls in particular are constantly negotiating their relationships to themselves, each other, in group, in private, in a journal, in a letter, and so playing with that was really fun.
Well, that's one of the aspects that attracted me most to the play, because we see the complex inner lives of the girls at 15, which is then masked in how they interact with one another. So the audience gets a pretty unique insight into the things that they wish that they could say, or the feelings that they're having that they don't quite know how to cope with.
What like inspired me to start writing it in the first place is like there's something dramatic and kind of performative when young girls are together or groups of friends.
We especially see that when they reunite in the second act.
Right.
They're finding themselves in a place where they no longer want the people who are closest to them to be seen.
Right. Right.
To see what, because they didn't quite make it to where we wanted to.
Like each of the characters arrives at this conclusion that like, okay, you know, what I thought I would be doing when I was 15, at 25 I'm not doing, and so therefore I will never do it. It's like, it has its own kind of like naivete and innocence, which I find kind of funny, and also, yeah, like quite poetic. Like we all know that feeling of constantly saying, am I doing enough? Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that lasts, you know, throughout adulthood, but it also like morphs and changes.
In one way, you know, our relationships with the past are so complicated, and all of these young women have complicated relationships to their past, and in one way you want to hold on to that because you're like, you were there when I was forming who I am, and then there's this other side of it that's like, well, I didn't love who I had to be then, and I love the fact that I'm growing and that I'm not stuck in that, and so there's a complicated relationship to the past.
The seats are filled. What do you want them to walk away from? What are you excited about them seeing?
You know, I've been listening to like a lot of the hits from 2007, you know, so that music just brings me back, you know? It's like, when do I listen to Avril Lavigne? Clearly not enough.
But I would like for people to feel that nostalgia and complication and love for their friends and eye roll for the people in their life, like all of that mixed into one.
When are your show dates and times?
Wednesday, June 19th at 7 p.m. and Friday, June 21st at 8:30 p.m.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Thank you, Brennan, Playwright, and Lindsey Pearlman, director of the Shoebox. Come see it at the Colony.